Naz and Safi with Plan on Software and a board member of the IT community of IFMA. Thank you for joining us for Day 5 of FM Tech Week 2026, presented by Schneider Electric. This session is brought to you by Project Aidra. It is my pleasure to introduce Billy Holder as he takes us through practical AI for FMs. Applied AI is not a theory anymore. Billy has spent 28 years in the industry. He started on this lab with the framing crew and worked his way into leadership roles at Georgia Tech, CBRE, and CGL companies. Having worked across every aspect of the industry, he has developed a platform that takes advanced technology and makes it practical for the people in the field. Billy, thank you for joining us today. I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Manaz. Really appreciate the time. And thanks to Schneider Electric and everyone for being a part of FM Tech Week. It's kind of an honor to be the last presentation of the week. So thanks to everyone out there who's joined us as well. I'm really excited to jump into today's presentation. Couple of things we're going to run through, so quick few slides and tell you a little bit about myself, what Project Aidra is and why we decided to build it. And then I'm actually going to show you what it looks like to use it today and how you can get started. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. All right. So building intelligence from visual data. What does that mean? Like visual data, just what you can see? Well, it's what you can see and capture with cameras and any kind of device that records video, right? And audio. So if you're talking about cell phones or drones, Insta360s, GoPros, any of those devices that you capture video with, we can actually create building intelligence from those. And why? Why are we doing it? Well, because the old way is really old. It's 3,400 years old, actually. So that 3,000 years ago, a priest was given the instructions on how to perform a building inspection, and that was documented for the first time. And since then, we've followed that exact same process for building inspections, documentation, work verification, all of those things, right, throughout the last 3,000 years. Well, this means walking around with clipboards, writing things down, taking pictures, spilling coffee on our notes, all of that stuff. Those are the old ways. And in that, I'm sure many of us have heard a technician, or we ourselves have said, I know I have, it takes longer to document the work than it does to do it. And that's why we built Project Aidra, was to take the technician and put them back to doing what they love to do. Our technicians love fixing things, right? So we built Project Aidra to get them away from having to spend all of that time writing things down about what they were doing so they can spend more time actually doing it. This is driving, all of your deferred maintenance down, and you're actually able to get forward and start fixing things by automating inspections, getting consistent data capture, and delivering those results in a very short amount of time. All of this rolls up to save you time, money, and give you intelligent data that's actionable, reliable, that the entire organization can have at one time. So yeah, feel free to drop in your thoughts there as the poll wraps up. Look at that. Quite many of you have heard this. 63% of the audience has heard it, and 38% of you have said it. So I'm in that 38% as well. So what types of visual data can we capture and what can we use it for? Well, like I mentioned, anything from any recording device, CCTV, thermal image analysis. Let's start right there, because I don't know how many of you may know about the new National Electric Code adoption that came out this year. They took the NFPA 7dB requirement and actually made it the law of the land in the 2026 update to the NEC. So now thermal inspections aren't just a best practice. They're not just required by NFPA. They're required under the National Electric Code, annual thermal inspections. These can take a lot of time. And for a quick glance, you can use an AI platform to actually look at that thermal image analysis and write the deficiencies report in the format that the National Electric Code and NFPA 70B require. So that's a super fast and easy way to deploy it and use Project Aidra in the way that we can do this for preventative maintenance, compliance reporting, reliability. Think about motor downtime, right? Siemens tells us that, what is it, 11% of our revenue is lost to unplanned downtime. You can use that to actually recapture that 11% because you could see the deficiencies happening in real time. Asset management, right? For obviously those of us in facilities and property management or the public sector, many of us don't have an accurate or complete asset log or asset registry. So in just very short order, we can go through, capture a picture or a video of that asset data plate, pull all the information in off of it, not just the brand model serial, but capacity, refrigerant types, electricals, all of that information that's relevant to our day-to-day operations can be captured and classified and reported on now in very short time. And then condition assessments, we all have to do them. I was at a conference recently and someone said, yep, every single person in every single building that manages them, they have to do condition assessments. And typically we do what's called a facilities condition assessment, right? It's every 3, 5, 7, sometimes 10 years. And those are used to build the capital plan, right? The long-term capital plan, and we update those. And they're really, really good for that. But they're not a very good day-to-day operational tool. That's where continual condition assessments can come in, and that's where we can deploy a Project Aidra solution into your daily routine and actually be able to capture that data, classify the deficiencies, report on the recommended actions, cost estimations, all of that, right? So AI today is able to do just this quickly, completely, and repeatably. So how? I've mentioned it a couple times, device agnostic, capture it through drones, phones, cameras, right? So you capture that video, you upload it to the platform, you click process, and away it goes in the cloud to do things automatically. It's writing the report for you. No more having to sit back at your desk and figure out, was this in room 1102 or 1103? I don't remember. And then you got to get up and walk all the way back over there and redo your walk. Now it's writing all of that for you, automatically identifying rooms by the FF&E, classifying data, and costing out the deficiencies. When it's done, you get an email that tells you, hey, your report's done. You click on that, you download it in a PDF, a CSV, or you can even use our API to push it straight over into your CMMS, your EAM, your financial software, whatever you need to track the data, however you need to track it. This also allows everyone in the organization to get the data at the same time. This drives decision making, right? So when everybody has the same information at the same time, the decisions can be made quickly. No more waiting for one group of person to get finished using the data and then handing it off, right? Everybody can see it at the same time. So I'm curious, how many of you are like me and have outsourced most of your life to AI and are no longer human? Actually, I am still human. I promise. I have a pulse. But I'm curious. Let's find out what you're using AI for today and how many of you are actually using it a lot. I'm really, really interested to see. Manaz, how about you? How are you using AI today?
Well, I'm still the human, so not replaced yet. But I do use it for different aspects, even my personal life, but definitely for admin, emails. That was just the first things that I started using AI for. But now I do make some of my tasks automated because it just doesn't need full input from me.
Awesome. Yeah, and it looks like the audience is about half and half between email, meeting summaries, and action planning, and then finance, contract review, and marketing. So administrative burden offload, which is exactly what we're talking about doing here with Project Aidra, right? Removing some of that administrative burden. Awesome. So who's using it? How are they using it? And how can you? So we like to say that we're the intelligence engine behind all industries. These are just a few of the clients that are using it today to drive decisions and the different industries they're in. So from integrated facilities management, quality assurance, roofing, waterproofing consultancies, it can be used across the board. Um, if you're on a mobile device and you want to learn more, feel free to hit that QR code um, and fill that out, and we'll get in touch and share with you more. I am super excited to actually show this though. Are you ready for to get into the demo and actually see how Project Aidra works today to solve problems for facility managers?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been hearing about it a lot lately, and I really want to know how it works.
Well,
Get to know.
wait no more as I try to figure out how to use the share buttons. Wrong window. We're going to go through a very quick demo. And basically, you just start with heading over to the website, projectaidra.net, and signing up. Click the sign up button. There it is. It was hiding from me. Get set up and logged in, and you're ready to go. It's a really simple process. Once you're done, you land on your dashboard, giving you some high level analytics, subscription usage, and you can also filter around through your organization to understand the data that you have and the types of reports that are getting done, right? So just quick glance at that. And all of this information is created by each and every task that's generated and completed within Project Aidra. From Aidra scores, which are APA standard compliance ratings, all the way to your cost over site and your cost over time, being able to tell which properties are actually costing you and where they're costing you. So, what are these linked to? It's all driven through our sites and tasks menu. And I'm going to run through a task setup real quick. So, all you have to do is create a new task, right? So, we're going to create a boiler room inspection. Right? Give it a due date. Any date in the future is fine. Provided a description for the task. That description is actually something that goes right into our software and helps tell our artificial intelligence model what you're doing, what type of inspection, what type of things are we looking for, and what issues should we keep our eyes peeled for. You give it an assignment to a user. That user gets an email almost immediately when that task is created. And there you see it right there as our new task. Once you're there, you click upload media in that task details page. You choose the media file that you want to upload. Now you can either pre-record this or you can record it in the moment on your phone. We recommend pre-recording because you never know what happens if you get a phone call. It might interrupt that recording. So pre-record your video, narrate the issues into it, and upload it directly to the
So, a
platform.
question, Billy.
Yeah,
For
shoot.
the videos, do they have to be taken with a special equipment like a scanner or a 3D camera? Does it matter what equipment is used for those media?
No, it doesn't matter. As long as it has a minimum resolution of 720 pixels, we can ingest that video. So we're also testing with some other platforms that create videos from LiDAR scans for BIM modeling and things like that. So we can actually take those output videos and ingest them as well. So from your BIM models, we can ingest the videos from those as well. It's really cool that we can do drones and action cameras or cell phones and even automotive like fleet cameras in your cars.
Okay.
Once that video is uploaded, Pretty easy. Just click process task, like I was saying, and off into the cloud it goes, away for the AI to deal with. And we've already run this just because we have a tight timeline. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. So once this is complete, you get an alert on your phone or in your email that says, hey, your report's done in Project Aidra. Click here to view it. You can log right back into the platform, go straight to the report, click view report. You can download it in either a spreadsheet version, which is multi-tab. So we have the issues log, the assets log, and a cost estimations tab on those. Or you can download in a narrative PDF format. So once that
Two more
download's done,
questions.
yeah, shoot, go
Sorry.
ahead.
So do the users need access to the internet while recording these videos?
Oh, no, that's a great question. Actually, not while recording. The only time internet's required is when you're uploading, right? So, or interfacing with the platform in that way. So we also have a background upload tool. So if you're out there uploading and you lose internet or you change access points, that upload will resume as soon as it gets connectivity back right where it left off. So that's a great question. I think you said you had two questions.
Yeah. And how long does the processing take? Because I know you had it already processed because of our time restrictions.
Yeah, that's another great question we hear a lot. It's about a minute to a minute and a half of video length for processing time. So almost a one-to-one. And I'll show here, hopefully in just a second, we'll be able to go back after reviewing this report and we'll see the other ones already done. All right. So I downloaded those. Did you have any other questions, Nas? I don't want to blow
Uh,
past yet.
no, I think you answered my questions that you can download the data in a spreadsheet. I'm looking forward to seeing what those spreadsheet include.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, so this is the PDF version. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I know that might be small on some people's screens. Some people might be on their phones. Is that coming through well enough there for you, Naz, on your side?
Yeah.
Awesome. So quickly, it gives you an executive summary, what it found. I didn't show the video yet. We'll jump back and show the video here in a second, just so you can kind of see what it saw and how it relates to the report. Quickly, critical issues, some pipe insulation damaged, peeling, held together with blue tape in the mechanical room. That's never a good sign to see when you got piping and insulation held together like tape. Um, where the property was, what it was, how many rooms were assessed. If there was an exterior assessment, it would be there. The interior assessment gives us the timestamp range of what was assessed and when, a breakdown of all the equipment, 3 boilers, water heater, multiple pumps, right? And then a condition rating for each component of the room. If there
There is
was a
another
thermal one,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. There is another
No, go
question
ahead.
related to the video and the cameras. There's one of the participants have asked, does the use of thermal camera help the output or the reporting?
It can absolutely help. So because of the multimodal focus that our system has, right? The more data you give it, the more it has to look at. So if you give it a regular picture or video of a motor and then a thermal image or video of the motor, it can tell that's the same thing and actually report on the visual condition and then the thermal condition. And that thermal condition would show up here. So that's a great question. Thanks to whoever in the audience asked that. Really appreciate your question. Here's the asset ledger, right? So in the video, one of the things it captured was the data plate from this gas water heater. Pulls all of that information in, the maximum BTUs, data manufacturing. It's in a good visual condition. And there was no audio conditions related to any deficiencies. And the location. So from there, we jump down. Here's the issues log. This is a great little visual. Throw picture on there to show you at 43 seconds in this video. There's that blue tape. Here's the damaged piping insulation. So you have that visual look and you have a location in which video to go back and reference. I think this is a good place to pause on the report side and actually go back to looking at the video. So again, there was no audio in this video. The microphones were muted just because it was a very noisy boiler room. Now, another question we get sometimes is, "Hey, can I use like Meta glasses or something, smart glasses with this?" Yes, you can, and the audio capture is really good for that because they have built-in noise canceling, and you can narrate what you're seeing, right? And there's that pipe and insulation that we just saw in the picture a second ago. Um, with the smart glasses, you can just narrate along and it blocks out all of that background noise. So all the blowers and boilers and fans running and all that equipment noise isn't there anymore.
We have more questions from the audience. The next
Okay.
question is that do the equipment covers, if any, have to be removed?
They can be removed for more detailed inspection. A lot of chillers, especially in certain parts of the world, they might have insulation wraps on them or sound wraps on them, right? So if you want to get a visual condition of the chiller body itself, something you would have to remove that. Otherwise, it's only going to see what's on the outside, right? Other things that you might want to remove is in the way of covers would be anything that covers a data plate or a particular piece of information you're trying to assess. And when you do that, make sure that you're following any proper lockout tagout procedures or de-energizing equipment and that sort of thing so that you reduce any risk of injury when you're doing that. By and large, most of the information that we capture and document is not in a place that something has to be removed.
Thank you.
Were there a couple other questions?
Yes, do we have time for that? I don't know if you have.
I think I want to show the spreadsheet. Um, but we could also let me show the spreadsheet, run through it, and then we'll use the last few minutes for some questions. How's that sound?
Sure, that's great.
All right. So on the spreadsheet, just like the PDF version, you have the timestamp, the category, the location, and the description of the deficiency found on that first tab. Um, this is a little more actionable, right? We facility managers love our spreadsheets quite a bit. So um, we've done this in a spreadsheet version. On that page is that the asset information is on the second tab, right? So equipment type, brand, model, serial, capacity rating, condition, manufacturing date, all that same information just pulled across in more of an actionable format. And then the cost estimator pulls from locally available cost data and takes the description of the issue or deficiency found, estimates a cost for that, gives it a priority based on the different condition ratings and language that was placed into it, and totals that up at the end.
That's great. I'm sure a lot of people like outputs in Excel because they can modify, make adjustments as needed.
Yep. And the other one that we didn't really talk about was the API, right? So we also have an API that can connect over to your CMMS and take these issues logs, auto magically, as we like to say, create work orders for you. They can auto magically update your asset inventory. And a new feature that we have coming out very soon, it's actually in our testing environment, is spatial recognition. So we're actually providing square footage of each room and square footage space requirements of each asset that we're capturing. So just a little nugget of something that's coming in the very near future.
No, it's great. I'm sure it helps a lot with planning.
It does. It does indeed. Especially like moves when you're capturing the furniture and you get the spatial measurements on the furniture. You know exactly how much space and how many trucks you need to have and that sort of thing to move offices. So
Yeah, great example.
awesome. I think we have about 5 minutes. That is a very quick and high level demo. So I'd invite you all again to reach out if you want more information. I'll throw that slide back up on the screen real quick. And if we have some questions, I think you said we have some
Yeah.
questions from the audience. We'll go ahead and take those.
So one question, I know you talked about a new feature coming soon. They're asking about when it will be available.
So through testing, we don't like releasing anything until we are actually really, really happy with the results. But the new feature should be out by the end of summer. We're thinking the end of July by that new feature having that out. And there are some other things wrapped up in there, but that's the big one that we're making some enhancements to the back end to do some other cool stuff too. But that's the big one.
Awesome. And I know this may take longer for full answer, but maybe in a short answer, can you talk about requirements for implementation and the timeline for that?
Yeah, sure. So we can get you set up and initiated as quickly as a day, typically, depending on how large the organization is. Once we have everything in place, requirements are we need to know how many users, how many reports you're going to be generating a month, um, how many different sites you have. All that can be set up on the back end, or you can self serve it all and set it all up on the front end yourself. But the initial provisioning and setup can be done as quickly as a single business day. And if there's a bigger question out there someone has, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to answer that.
Great. Looks like we still have a little bit more time. I know you answered, but maybe they need a more comprehensive answer for this. Can this reporting automatically populate data into the CMMS too?
It can. We'll have to work with your CMMS provider to make sure that the integration is there and in place. But yes, it can actually push this data straight over. We've got a couple of native integrations we're working on now with a couple of providers, and we have an integrations partner that also knows many, many CMMS platforms and is more than happy to help integrate those. So yes, the short answer: CMMSs, EAMs, and other systems as well.
Right. Another question, I guess, about the media is that will this platform analyze noises from equipment?
So it doesn't actually hear the noises in the way that it can diagnose from. But if you, the inspector, are listening, you can provide a diagnosis in voice. And unlike just a note taker that is taking your words and filling out a text box, our engine takes your vocal description, adds it to the visual intelligence, and then has a greater context in order to diagnose with. I hope that answers it. That's kind of a technical answer, but I hope that answered it.
Yeah. Well, again, if you need more information, you can always reach out to Billy or ask for a demo if you're interested to look into more details about their amazing product. Yes, there's one more question, and that's very general. I guess, what are the limitations for this platform?
Um, Limitations, obviously, you have to have a video input of some kind, right? A network connection to upload the videos to, and then a way to retrieve them. So, some kind of device to retrieve them back. Um, that is kind of a broad question. So if there's something specific in that, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer that. But I know we're coming right up on time. Naz, I'm going to throw it back to you. Thank you so much for all the questions. Everyone in the audience, thank you for participating today. Look forward to hearing from each and every one of you and seeing you very soon at an event. Thank you so much.
It was a great conversation, Billy. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. And thank you all for joining us today and for being part of the FM Tech Week 2026. A special thank you to our speakers, sponsors, and attendees for making this week such a success. We hope you found the sessions valuable. If you missed any sessions or you want to access the documents and materials discussed during the sessions, the recordings and the documents will be available for another week. And if you know your colleagues, your friends who missed this week, they can still register and access the recordings and the materials. We look forward to seeing you at future IT community events. Thank you again and have a great day. Thank you.